So Tuesday morning here in New York, and I'm about to jump in a car. Roman's been kind enough to send a driver up from Philadelphia. I'm going to jump in, we head back down to Luxury Bazaar and see what's going on in the crazy world of the grey market. Look where I am. You know exactly where I am, don't you? I am at Luxury Bazaar. Haven't been here for a couple of years, I think it was, when I was here with Spencer last. And it's got even better, even bigger it seems. Let me show you around. Roman, as always, lovely to see you again. It's always a pleasure to be here, mate. Thanks for the warm welcome again.
We'd like to have you here because of your tattoos and your funny accent, to be fair.
I appreciate it. What's going on? How's things?
So, as a quick market update, and Paul was nice enough to do one of my boxes with me, and I sort of told him that, look, we're back to normal business. And what that normal business always has been is to go back to when you were a dealer. You know, the market has always been within that 10 to 20% price range in terms of price.
Yeah.
We've seen the market stabilize probably for more than 6 months at this point. And it's, where did it stabilize? The same place that it dropped, because, you know, when everybody talked about the correction of the market crashing, people label it whatever it is.
Yeah,
and to me, it was just like, you know, prices came back down to earth. But did they really? Because basically you take the top 10 popular selling watches out there, they got to a point where it got ridiculous. Your $60,000 Daytonas, you know, your Nautilus is upwards of $400,000 in gold, right? They'll drop. They still drop to 2x MSRP, 1.5x MSRP. You know, your Rolex Daytona is still trading more than twice its MSRP price.
Yeah.
But the key is stabilized, right? So we know 6 months ago to 9 months ago, people had no idea what the market price was on anything. Us included,
yeah,
right? Because it was a moving target.
You're checking by the
just
hour,
as the market
right?
was, during the hype, as the market was moving up, and
Yeah.
we were like, holy shit, you know, I just paid 100 grand for this watch, and now I sold it for 120, now I'm paying 130.
Yeah.
That wasn't normal, just as much as when the market is on its way down. It does drop a lot faster than it goes up. In the watch market, you see, you know, more of a sudden drop. But now that the prices have stabilized, we're back to normal scheduled programs.
2024, how do you see that panning out? Have you got anything in your mind what you think might happen during 2024? Because we're coming to the, you know, the end quarter of the year. What do you think?
I think this quarter is going to be a big factor in regards to what the next year is going to look like. We're going into the busy season. We're going to the holiday season, right? Oddly enough, it's been a bit of an anomaly this year. And again, mind you, the market I guess, officially went down in September, so a year ago, give or take, right? Realistically, on a B2B side, it was going down already June, July time, August as well, and then, you know, everybody, to include the public, caught up at around September's time. And it's been a funny year in the sense that it was down, then back up a little bit more. I had a record summer in terms of sales. I have never had a summer where I sold this much merchandise.
Really?
Yet we go into September, and September for some reason was slower than usual. So I'm seeing really funny results, and as I said, up and down 10, 20%. I'm seeing that in the books, right, in terms of overall, because I don't look at a singular sale. I look at quarterly numbers, monthly numbers, weekly numbers, and I can compare them going back 10 years. Unfortunately, in our industry, comparing the market 10 years ago to today is irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
But over the last, let's say, 4 to 5 years, I have a pretty good ability to sit and compare that market. We go into October, I saw things pick up. And literally, I saw things pick up towards the end of September. And again, this is on the retail end as well as the B2B end.
So going into 2024, for the viewers watching right now, have you got any, if we put Rolex to one side for the moment, because everyone talks Rolex.
It's a big factor, though.
Yeah, exactly. If we can put that to one side for the moment, do you see anything coming up on the outside next year? Any brand?
So here's the funny part is that I was always transparent with the viewers in regards to watches that I thought that were sleepers, right? And I called them sleepers, and you know, half the guys would say, "Oh, he's just trying to push his own product or sell his own product." And I've been meaning to do this, and Cameron, take note, we should. Because I've been meaning to go back to some of my older videos, like unboxing, and say, guys, this is a sleeper, and show people what the price was then on video. So it's a fact, and say what the price is now, right? And even at post-dip, a lot of those watches have doubled, some even tripled in value. I was very bullish on Longa. When this dip happened, nothing happened to Longa. Longa overall over the last couple of years is up about 25, 30%, not due to the hype, but due to the fact that people are opening their eyes. And that's the key point. In 2024, there's no longer FOMO, fear of missing out, right? It used to be that a client would call in and say, I want that watch, and they felt like they didn't have room to even bargain. Like you say, hey, give me a better price, because they knew there were 10 other guys in line to grab it. Same thing happened with ADs. That's gone away. There's still certain things, obviously, that people, you know, the hot models are still the hot models, right? But that FOMO has gone away. Now what happens when FOMO goes away, people tend to open their eyes a little bit wider, starting to see other options out there. With the enormous amount of media out there that's available today from channels like yours, mine, and a multitude of others, where people are being more and more educated on certain products, they're opening their eyes a little bit more. And they're no longer chasing the fact that, hey, I buy this watch today for $1 and tomorrow it's going to be $1.50. With a stable market, those that were in the market for the sole purpose of making $1, whether they flip the watch or not, or making $1 on paper and feel good about it, is irrelevant. Because that was the main purpose. That's slowly but surely going away. It's never going to go away, unfortunately. Unfortunately, listen, it is what it is. But that paper chase, that profit chase, whether it's on paper, meaning the guy never plans on selling the watch, he just feels better that it would double in value, or for somebody to flip it, that's slowly, it's not going away, but it's not in the forefront anymore. So now that gives the ability to any collector to open up their eyes on value on certain things that's out there.
And education is so important, right?
Of course, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we're on cameras, and that's why we spend X amount of time every single week.
But it goes deeper than that with you, Roman, because you know something that I've just sat here and watched you do. And I hope you don't mind me telling the people watching this. You know, I mean, I've just been in your office now for like, I don't know how long I've been here, a couple of 3 hours, and the vast majority of your time you've been going through your DMs, etc., one by one, and answering people personally. And I said to you, how do you manage to do that? Where do you find the time? And your answer was, look, this is personal. You know, and it just really shows how much you care about what you're doing.
I'm
watching what you're telling people, the information.
I can have a multitude of guys or girls in the office answer my DMs for me.
Yeah.
A lot of the DMs I get are promotional. A lot of the DMs I get are spam, right? Yeah. But a lot of the DMs I get are just somebody giving me a compliment. Why wouldn't I answer that guy? Hey, Roman, he may not be a watch buyer or she. Roman, I love your videos, I love your content, thanks for putting it out there. A simple thank you goes a long way, just me responding. Now, I've gotten down to a science. I get a few hundred DMs a day. I'm able to get through my DMs, believe it or not, in less than an hour, right? And for me, it's time management. There's certain things I do throughout the day, and some of that time is dedicated to these DMs, right? But by doing that, one out of every 10 DMs is going to be, hey, I see you into Formula One. I love Formula One. I start chit-chatting about the guy, of how Max is dominating, on how Lewis is my favorite driver. And then a week later, that same guy reaches out and says, listen, Roman, I'm actually looking for a watch. So from a business perspective, don't get me wrong, yes, I'm a nice guy. I like talking to my fan base and the people that follow me, but at the same token, it's a hell of a business tool because there's a lot of how much is this watch?
Yeah.
Just the other day, I was doing a completely random video. I was changing a strap on the Richard Mille, and somebody said, "Oh, what is that watch you're wearing? I really like that watch." And now I'm in talks with the guy about that watch, and he's potentially going to buy it, right? So there's a lot of business opportunity there as well. But if I just have a robot do it, I can do an auto reply.
Yeah.
Or I just have somebody else that's not me do it, it's not going to come off.
I think it's just impressive for me to see the CEO of a big company like this going through his DMs, answering. I mean, you're talking to people that are looking to buy a date just, you know, you don't have to be doing that.
But the thing of it is that I'm not in the process of selling. We do have a system in place where majority of people that will ask me for something, they'll say, "Hey, I'm looking for this watch," or "How much is this watch?" I'll ask them for their contact information. I'll simply say, one of my team members will get back to you ASAP. That gives additional inquiries to the sales staff that I have, right? So it all goes a long way. Do I still sell on a daily basis? Yes. Believe it or not, I do. Listen, I have clients that have been my clients that have been in my cell phone for the last 20 years when I worked out of my basement. And if this client calls me, and I don't care if he's buying a Datejust or a $100,000 watch, he's going to get the time of day from me.
Yeah, that's a great.
Because it's just the right thing to do. And it doesn't matter if this company grows from 40 people to 400 people, I'm still going to be that guy, right? I'm lucky enough to have people around me in a multitude of departments that basically have stuff on lockdown in every single department, be it accounting, logistics, marketing, etc., with whom I'm able to meet, put ideas forward, discuss, and execute. But for the most part, I still love selling watches. That's what I do.
It's a bug, right?
Yeah, of course. This is my passion, right? So you can't get away. I love making a deal. I love buying, which Adrian sometimes frowns upon because he calls them the Roman buys, right? Because I'm a little bit older, he's a little bit younger. But even with that, we have a system in place. We don't just buy sporadically. We know exactly what we need to buy, how much of it, what to pay. There's systems in place to do that as well. But sometimes because I'm the CEO, I'll go buy something stupid and Adrian will scream and yell, and then somehow we'll still sell at a good profit and he can't say anything, but that comes with the nature of the beast.
With the territory, yeah. So lastly, Roman, every time I go out and I bump into viewers, they say to me, "Paul, when's Roman coming over next?"
Well, I think you might be seeing me, there's certain things going on internally here where you might be seeing my face in London a bit more often. So I personally, I love history. And there's very, very few places on earth like London that provide the type of history that you can learn for 3 lifetimes and visit. There's so many places that I love to see over and over, outside of the usual suspects, Big Ben and the Palace. There's so many other places. For example, like I know London has one of the oldest pubs in the world. It dates back to like the 60s, the one that survived the fires. It's like this big square. Little things. Those are the things that excite me. But of course, it's also the people. When I was there for the show that we did together, I had an amazing time. I spent 5 hours shaking people's hands and talking to people, and it flew by as if it was 10
Was you
minutes.
surprised by the welcome?
Yeah, I was. I was actually very surprised but then I also realized that a lot of when we look at analytics, weekly, monthly, quarterly, right? And whenever we look at our traffic analytics, our second, it goes by region, by country, then it also does cities. So the number one source of traffic to our website comes from New York. Number 2 is London. So it's one of those things where it's amazing to see people face to face, because at the end of the day, me and you, we stare at that camera. When you get those persons face to face,
it's a different thing.
It's a different thing. It's if you were just a tiny bit closer, I'd be hanging out with you on Brighton as well, just like you guys do all the time. And I love what you do when you get a group of guys together just talking watches. It's unbelievable. The area we're in a very rural area. I'm in an industrial park. We live in the suburbs. I mean, we'll go to my house later. You'll see I live in the middle of nowhere. You guys live in the middle of a vibrant, one of the biggest cities in the world. Yeah. So it's a bit easier to do that. But listen, we have plans, hopefully, of starting to open up some of these retail locations in the future. And I don't think London would be out of the question, to be fair.
Wow, breaking news.
Yeah, but I just need some heavy security over there, because and my only issue with you guys, I can't take my guns there. I gotta have my guns.
I don't blame you. That's a big problem. Roman, as always, you're
always
a superstar.
A pleasure, Paul.
Thanks, mate. Take care.
Ripping off a $20,000 Rolex.
Even knocked out the surveillance camera, and $2.5 million worth of watches inside.
Or on the sidewalk in the middle of the day.
The unique watch was worth about $500,000.